You're watching a Satluj TV news special. I'm Angus Scott in London. Sudan has hit the headlines recently, including the deaths of nearly 100 civilians and hundreds wounded in ongoing battles between Sudan's regular army and a powerful paramilitary force after long-running bitter brinkmanship spilled into conflict. But what is this conflict all about? At its heart lies two rival generals, Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and his deputy Mohammed Hamdan Daglo, commander of the large and heavily armed paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, the RSF, formed from members of the Janjaweed militia that led years of violence in Darfur. Together they seized power in a 2021 coup. On Saturday, their jostling for power erupted into violence, both in the capital Khartoum and other cities across Sudan, with deafening explosions, airstrikes, artillery fire and intense gunfire in densely packed neighbourhoods. Each general accused the other of starting the fight, and both have made claims they control key sites, which could not be independently verified. So why did this rivalry erupt into conflict? In October 2021, Burhan and Daglo together orchestrated a coup, upending a fragile transition to civilian rule that had been started after the 2019 ousting of longtime autocrat Omar al-Bashir. Burhan, a career soldier from northern Sudan who rose through the ranks under the 3-decade rule of now jailed Bashir, took the top job. Daglo, from Darfur's pastoralist camel-herding Arab Rai-Zigat people, assumed responsibility as his number two. But it was only ever a marriage of convenience, according to independent researcher and policy analyst Hamid Khalafallah. It was never a genuine alliance or partnership. They just had to tie their interests together to face the civilians as a united military front, Khalafallah added. The rift widened, with Daglo, commonly known as Hemeti, calling the coup a mistake that has failed to bring about change and invigorated remnants of Bashir's regime. As the army and civilian leaders came together to hammer out a deal to end the political crisis that began with the coup, the integration of the RSF into the regular army became a key sticking point. For Alan Boswell, Horn of Africa director at the International Crisis Group, Daglo saw in the agreement an opportunity to become more autonomous from the military and enact very large political ambitions. And according to analyst Kholoud Kaya, a December framework agreement for the deal ratcheted up tensions between Burhan and Hemeti, when it elevated Hemeti's position into Burhan's equal rather than his deputy. Kaya, founder of the Khartoum-based Confluence Advisory think tank, said that shift in power is why conversations about security sector reform and integration of the RSF have ended up in armed conflict rather than heated debate around the table. So who are the RSF? Created in 2013, the RSF emerged from the Janjaweed fighters that now jailed Islamist dictator Bashir unleashed against non-Arab ethnic minorities in the western Darfur region a decade earlier, drawing accusations of war crimes. The infamous militiamen were part of a campaign of terror that saw Bashir indicted for war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide by the International Criminal Court. In 2015, the heavily armed militia was deployed alongside regular Sudanese forces in the civil war in Yemen as part of the Saudi-led coalition which helped boost Daglo's profile abroad. According to experts, the force has also been involved in the conflict in neighbouring Libya. The RSF has been accused of more atrocities since, in particular as part of a security crackdown after the ousting of Bashir, when at least 128 people were killed in a violent dispersal of a Khartoum sit-in in June 2019. The RSF has continued to grow stronger since 2019, Boswell added. So what comes next? Recently, former Sudanese Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok appealed for calm, worried the conflict has the potential to sink into a bitter civil war.
يجب أن تقف هذه الحرب لأن هي حرب المنتصر فيها خاسر. يظل السلام هو الخيار الوحيد المتاح للشعب السوداني لتفادي الانزلاق للحرب الأهلية.
There is clearly an existential power struggle on both sides, although it is a zero-sum game. With both generals out for blood, analysts find it unlikely they'll come to the negotiating table without one or both of them suffering heavy losses. Though both continue to make bellicose statements against each other, it's inevitable neither of them will come out of this unscathed. The longer the city streets become the battleground, the higher the civilian toll climbs, and the harder it will be for either general to rule over the wreckage that will be left. ICG's Boswell believes that both sides are strong enough that any war between them will be extremely costly, deadly and long, and even if either side achieves a partial victory in Khartoum, war will continue elsewhere in the country, dividing up Sudan into strongholds. As he stated finally, we're already in worst-case scenario territory, and from here, the scenarios only get grimmer and grimmer, warning the impact will ripple throughout the region. You've been watching a special report from Satluj TV News, and if you have any opinions on this story, or indeed on any of our stories, why not get in touch and let us know? We welcome all your comments and opinions, however diverse, and we'll broadcast the best of them in a special show. So why not drop us a message at message@satlujtv.com and let us know your opinions. In the meantime, thanks for watching. I'm Angus Scott in London.
Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Break the cycle. Be informed. Satluj Network. Let the truth flow.